What's up, Inkie peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and I have a second installment of my Buy It and Try It series that I just started over here, where I do a mini haul at the start and then use those goodies to create something. So if you want to skip the haul section, go to 3 minutes and 15 seconds where I start to get into the Project Life spread. But I did a big order from Citrus Twist, and this is not sponsored, paid full price, just wanted to show you what I got. Because I think their monthly life crafted kits are really handy if you just need a little burst of happiness every month. I think right now we could all do with a little burst of happiness in some form, and especially when we're not able to get out and about to the shops, it's really handy to have like these online retailers where we can still get our hands on some prettiness. So I'm just showing you one of the kits. So you get a range of papers and stickers and puffies and journaling cards, all sorts of things. And then I grabbed a couple of the older kits as well. I'm not sure which one is the most recent one. I didn't double check that. But you can also buy just the packs of journaling cards individually, which is really handy if you do a lot of pocket scrapping like I do. And I also grabbed some of the embellishments. So this is a nice little pack of, they reminded me of a carnival. I think they'd be really good to use for the photos that I took of Archie's birthday, where we bought him a swing set. So even though I don't even know the last time I went to a theme park, we don't really have them where I live, and so I think I'll be using those for the swing set instead. That's the most thrilling ride that we get to these days. I also grabbed one of the add-on kits which has scrapbooking paper in it as well, and I'll be using some of these goodies in something exciting that's happening in June. Now, if you're an OG Inklet, like way back before the kiddos arrived, probably I'm thinking 2016, 15 maybe, June was a fun month. This was before live streams. So if you know what I'm talking about, get ready, peeps, because get your planners out, because June's going to be a lot of fun. I'm working hard behind the scenes in between unpacking our new house to get some fun content going for you guys. So some of the now this paper is gorgeous, and I love the other side too. Why are the prettiest papers pretty on both sides? I don't think that's fair at all, and I'm going to have to see if I can buy that. I think, I don't know if they offer the papers by themselves. I don't know. But if they do, I may have to be purchasing another pack of those papers, because I'm going to hoard them. But I'm going to try not to. But I probably will hoard them for a little while. Let's be honest. So this is a double-ish page of Project Life. I've got a 6x12 insert on the left and then 12x12. So this is in my 2019 album, which is the one that you will see me working on anytime I'm in 12x12. So I went back to 12x12, and I had spent the last 3 years in 9x12, which I loved. But I didn't think I was going to say this, but I really love 12x12 again. The layouts, I will admit, I'm still learning to love again, because if you've never tried a 9x12 or even an 8.5x11, which is a normal page protector size, if you've never tried a smaller layout, like a rectangular size layout, give it a go, because it's very different. And I think once you start doing one or the other frequently, it's hard sometimes to switch back, and I'm finding it a bit tricky at the moment, but I'm learning to love it a bit more. So I haven't started 2020 album, of course, but I'd love to know if you are up to date with your documenting. How are you documenting what the world's going through at the moment? I know I've seen a few people in my Facebook group, Scrapaholics Anonymous. If you're not in there, come over and join us. The link is in the description. but I saw a few people sharing how they were documenting it, and I think this is such a world-changing event going on at the moment that our children and our grandchildren will one day hear about and learn about. And I'm a bit perplexed about how to best record it. I've been journaling a little bit in my Hobonichi, but I also want to include it in my project life, but I'm not up to now. So yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts about how you're documenting all this, or are you doing it online, like through Instagram posts, and then you'll have those to look back on? Yeah, let me know. So this first card is a photo of Archie kissing his little toy dinosaur that he had, and I often struggle with cards or embellishments that have pre-made frames in them. Particularly embellishments. I know that there was a big trend a few years ago to include frames in collection releases, and they were definitely something that I gathered dust. I abandoned them and they gathered dust in my crafty stash. And so when I saw this card, I thought it would be better for me to try and use it straight away while it's new and fresh, rather than putting it in my stash, because I might have a bit of trouble with it later on. This just personally, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because the space is a bit constricted, but this was a perfect size to include this little photo of Arch. And then because I didn't have another photo for this other spot, I decided to put Yeah, 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 which was out of the embellishment pack. So for this video, I just chose one of the Life Crafted kits to work with, and I think I do bring in a couple of the extra alphas that I bought that don't come in the kit as well. So I'm sticking these down, and this was a week, I'm pretty sure this was July, yes it was, July last year, and which for us is smack bang in the middle of winter, so it's a bit chilly, not snow, but quite chilly for our usual Aussie hot temperatures. And so we were spending a lot of time indoors, and Archie's got his fluffy pajamas on then. I have ultra sped up my writing in this video as well, just so that you don't have to just watch me write for a minute. So if you do see me writing, I definitely don't write that fast. I wish I did. It would make scrapping and journaling a lot quicker. But yeah, so this was July, and I left to go to a 4-day scrapbooking retreat with my closest scrappy gals. So you'll see those photos on the right hand side of this spread. So this was a funny photo. I snapped this. One of Aaron's family members shared this, and I had to grab it. This is Aaron on the right, and his nan, and then his little brother on the left. And I just thought this was a funny photo, so I wanted to include it. And like I've said lots of times, social media and it's just such a fantastic place to stay connected to your family and include maybe extended families memories, like things that they're up to, or just little updates of what they're doing and where they are. It's a great way to include that in your scrapbooking, rather than having to ask them to take photos or to journal for you, or so on and so forth. And because a lot of Aaron's family do live further away, and we only get to see them a couple of times a year, it's nice to have those memories of Archie and Violet's great grandparents and their uncles and aunts and grandparents that they don't get to see as often, who are still such important people in our lives, and they still get to see them in their family albums. Here's another question that I've been pondering lately. How do you peeps go about children's albums? Now, I have started planning Archie and Violet's baby albums, and my plan is, this is the plan. I don't know if it's going to go to plan, but it's the plan. I hope to have a 1-year album for both of them. So their first year of life, full of baby photos and meeting their family members for the first time. And then I hope to keep the family albums, which is these ones that you see me putting all of my layouts and all my pocket pages in. And then I would love to have a school album for both of them. Or albums, it will be definitely plural. And I have started Archie's one, and I've just got like a couple of snaps from his first couple of years at daycare, which I know isn't school, but we call it little school for him. And include some of the pictures that he's made and that kind of thing. And that's what I'm hoping, so that at the end of it, I will have the family album. I will have a couple of school albums that have maybe 4 to 5, let's be honest, maybe 6 to 8 spreads per year, and then they're baby albums. But I'd love to know, if you do have kids, what your album situation looks like. So while I've been rambling about albums, this puzzle. Peeps, is there something in your house that is constantly missing part of it in order to make it work properly? Because this puzzle is one of them. I'm sorry if you can hear next door's dog barking in the background. We now have to compete with a dog in the background of voiceovers too. But this puzzle, there is always one piece missing, and it's an apple. And I don't know why, but one day I was so frustrated looking for it, and I said, "Où est la pomme?" which means "where is the apple" in French. I did French in school, and I don't know why, but I always loved the word apple, la pomme. I just thought it was so sweet, and it just sounded so cute, and I just think of cute little apples. Maybe it was because my French textbook had really, really adorable little kawaii type photos in it, or illustrations, sorry. But yes, so now every time Archie plays with that puzzle, it's a bit of an inside joke between Aaron and I, where we say, "Où est la pomme?" because we can never find the apple. And then when we moved house, we found the apple, but then we lost the puzzle. And we have since last week reunited the pieces together. Anyway, that was a bit of a ramble about puzzles, but yes, puzzles are fun until you lose a piece, and then they just become frustrating. So this is the first photo at the retreat that I went to. It was out at Lake Keepit. If you're a New South Welshan, is that what we're called? My state's called New South Wales. Is that what we are, New South Welshans? I'm making that up, I think. But if you are from my neck of the woods, it's, I think, about 6 to 7 hours away from where I am, because I was very lucky. I was able to drive to my friend's house, which is about an hour and a quarter, hour and a half away from me. And then she drove with several of us in the car the other 5 hours, I think, that it took to get there. So that was handy, because it is a little bit out in the sticks, but it's a beautiful spot and such a fun retreat. It's the Flutter by Designs retreat, and this year is their final one, and I'm really sad that I'm not going this year. Oh, I wish I could. But yes, I think it will be. I'm not sure with dates when it's happening this year. But if you are looking for a treat, and if there are still spots available, I'm not sure if there are, it's a great one to go to. Lots of fun and shenanigans go on. This next one, I took a creepy backseat photo of my friends driving the car along. There's a lot of farmland that we drive through, and so much terribly drought-stricken country as well. And it's funny when you drive through the same area once a year for several years. It's amazing to see the devastation that the drought has caused to our rural areas. And I think this year that we drove through, it was really bad. The lake was, because it's situated on a lake, I think it was at 10% of its capacity, which of course is not very much at all. And so yes, there's lots of kangaroos around, and I'm pretty sure I did vlog this, and it's over on my Patreon with I think it's also got a flip through of anything that I made, as well as what I packed for the crop as well. So then this is a photo of some of my scrappy gals. There's a couple missing, but there's a few of us there, and we, of course, we're scrapbookers, so we take a gazillion photos when we're together, or we try to at least. We have like a little photo shoot where we take a ton of photos. And so I, of course, wanted to include these because we don't get to see each other very often. So after this retreat in July, I didn't see the girls until February of this year. I'm pretty sure it was. Yes, it was. So it was about, 7 or 8 months sometimes between catching up. So I really appreciate all of them, and if there's any of them watching, love you girls lots. But yeah, it was a much needed break. I wasn't going to go to the retreat because at the time I was pregnant with Violet, and I hadn't been feeling well at all, and just because it was quite far away from home, I didn't want to be vomiting the whole time and not be able to just duck home, of course, and just, yeah, I didn't want to be caught out, but I felt a bit better, and then the girls talked me into going. So I thought, why not one last hurrah before we have 2 kids. So then here we had wine time, where everyone brings in some snacks and we have a bit of a communal afternoon nibblies, which is really lovely. And so that was nice. And I'm just trying to cover up some of the things in the background that weren't important to the photo by putting embellishments over the top. Embellishments are great for covering up things that you just don't want to focus on in the background there. So here is the finished spread. I love how bright it is. It's helped by the colours in the photos. These were really brightly coloured photos with the blue sky, and then Archie in with this yellow and pink in the background. That really directed a lot of the cards that I picked. But I love how this came together. I have a couple more bite and try it's that will be over the next few months. So keep your eyes peeled for that. This video is delayed. I usually have a video every Friday, but at the moment, filming schedule has been a little up in the air. So sorry this video is a bit late, but I hope wherever you are in the world, you're safe, you're well. I'd love to hear what albums you have and how you figure out what layouts go in what albums. And I will see you this Friday over on Let's Get Inky for another video. Bye!